47 days, 24 people, 1 survivor.
You know this is some big news if even I, a guy who has made 3 total videos on Australian Survivor, is talking about it. The headline is indeed true. Jonathan of Australian Survivor was just announced as being cut from his job as the host of the show, with the rumor mill saying that David, the winner of Australian Survivor All-Stars and Deal or No Deal Island 2, is his replacement. I am surprised to learn this given over the few seasons I've watched of Australian Survivor. Jonathan was a bright spot. I had no issues with Jonathan. My issues with the show are production related, not at all Jonathan. We're going to look at everything there is to know at this time, what the official word is on this firing from the network itself, Jonathan's reaction to losing his livelihood, what really happened behind the scenes when he was fired, and what could possibly happen now that he is gone. Let's start with Channel 10's statement. That's the network that hosts Australian Survivor, which they state, "We can confirm that the upcoming season of Survivor Australia versus the World will be the last series hosted by the formidable Jonathan. JLP has brought a unique blend of authority, intelligence, and empathy to his role as the host of Australian Survivor over the last 10 years, acting as a referee and managing the intense pressure of the game while also acknowledging the human drama unfolding. JLP has been a compelling and memorable figure in the world of Survivor, which is why we're firing him. We look forward to JLP hosting the next epic installment of Survivor Australia versus the World, coming soon to 10. We look forward to JLP hosting the next epic installment of Survivor Australia versus the World, coming soon to 10. We extend our sincere gratitude to JLP for his outstanding contribution over 10 years on Survivor. We wish him continued success in his acting and presenting career." Also notice that you can see the few comments there. Comments on this post have been limited because they have been getting blasted online for this. To me, this is a strange time to announce this. I'm sure they're planning the next season of Australian Survivor, and once the rumor mill spread that he was fired, they had to just openly acknowledge it. But this being right before the final season of Australian Survivor with him, it's a bit strange. In a way, it kind of sucks the air out of the season, since in no way was this season planned to be Jonathan's farewell tour, and of course nothing in the show is going to acknowledge that unless they put some text on screen maybe. Also, Australia versus the World stars David, the guy replacing him. Awkward. So let's cut over to Jonathan, who has this to say about his firing. "Australian Survivor has seen some of the most epic blindsides over the last 10 years, but this one just might be the craziest of them all because it happened to me. Oh man. I received a call from the network thanking me for all my hard work and dedication to the show, but for next season, they're going in a different direction. Ratings had dipped a bit recently, and they wanted to do something drastic to shake things up. So for the first time ever, this is not a tribe swap, but a host swap." Yes, you read that right. As you can see, Jonathan is taking this about as well as someone could, given that, as he said, this was a blindside for him. The ratings are lower. Rumor is that like all network TV, budgets are being slashed, which, by the way, whatever happened to Australian Survivor being on Paramount Plus? As some of you may recall, it was finally available to be streamed here in the US legally for 1 month in early 2022 before it went away without a word as to why, and has not returned since. Why? I have no clue. It's not like there's a law against this here in the US, by the way, about international shows on streaming services, obviously. I mean, you look over at Peacock, and they have all these international versions of the traders alongside their main US traders. So they're clearly not worried about international versions stealing the thunder of their main one. So like, what the heck? Get it together, Paramount and Channel 10 and CBS, whoever. Get Australian Survivor on Paramount Plus. I don't get it, as I know myself and others want to watch the show, but I would love to just pull up a streaming service and do it and not have to have people like shadily email me on their way of watching the show through dubious means. Like, just make it easy and accessible. That's all I'm asking. Now back to Jonathan. To me, it doesn't sound like they even offered him less money to do the job and he turned it down. No, they just simply didn't renew his contract, which in a way is worse. At least offer the man the job for less money so he has a choice. But as I've said a couple times already, David is replacing Jonathan according to the Daily Mail, which states, while 10's statement is full of praise, industry insiders paint a very different picture behind the scenes. Oh, here we go. Claiming Jonathan wasn't given the farewell he deserved. They didn't even tell him in person, one insider told Daily Mail Australia. It was brutal. After everything he's given to the franchise, he deserved better. Despite this, the network is forging ahead with a new direction in what some are calling a risky move, which is me included. Jonathan is expected to be replaced by All-Stars winner and former model David, who recently made headlines after winning. Yes, this is true. A whopping $5.8 million on Deal or No Deal Island 2 in the US. Yeah, good for David, by the way. I'm not knocking David here. David is indeed a decade younger than Jonathan, with Jonathan being 55 and David only 45. So he's younger, clearly has a lot of appeal whenever he's on TV, hence why shows keep asking him on. But my real question is, how is everyone going to react once this David news replacing Jonathan is broke by the network, when it becomes official? I have no idea, and I'm hoping some of you Australian Survivor fans can comment below and let me know. Is this a good choice, or is this kind of like a sideways move? Is it going backwards? I don't know. I'm hoping you all can let me know. To me, it is strange that the replacement host is on the final season that Jonathan is hosting, and you know it's not going to be acknowledged by the show. I think this was dealt with in all the wrong ways if the behind the scenes reports are true. So the big question that I know people have already commented about before watching the video, should Jonathan replace Jeff Probst as the host of American Survivor? And for once, out of all the suggestions I have ever heard in my entire time doing this channel, I agree. Yes, I actually think this is a good choice. A lot of people in the past have suggested past players as replacements for Jeff, and I mean, maybe one of them would do a good job. I just haven't seen it yet, but here we have a proven track record with Jonathan. Jonathan's a good choice. He's more than qualified. But even Jonathan is not a perfect replacement, as there are concerns I have. These are things I think would be legitimately brought up if he was considered. Jonathan is younger than Jeff, which is a positive, but only by 8 years. His Australian accent is thick. And now before you angrily comment about that, as someone who has worked in TV and film, I can assure you that this would be a possible deterrent for him being hired as a replacement. Sure, I can understand Jonathan when he talks, and I'm sure you can as well. But for the average American TV watcher, this would be a concern. There's just no doubt about it. But the biggest question of all is, does Jeff even want to step down? He gets paid $8 million a year, as far as I know, to host and executive produce, so he'd have to take a pay cut, I'd assume, if he wasn't hosting anymore. Does he want to let that go? I don't know. I don't think he does. Personally, I think if this change were to happen, it needs to be while the iron is hot and Jonathan takes over hosting when 51 is filmed next summer while Jeff stays on as executive producer. But is this realistic? I don't think so. Realistically, Jeff is not going to be blindsided. He's only going to step down properly when there's like a farewell tour, and we all know this is Jeff's final season. Maybe Jonathan can still replace him then, but again, he's 8 years younger. It's not that much younger. We shall see. So what do you think about all this? Comment below and let me know. Thanks for watching, and doubly thanks for liking and subscribing. I'll see you all next time.